What do people do if they're starting investing later in life, 40 or 50?
Okay, yeah. I mean, first of all, don't panic and just chill out. There's plenty of time and you can resolve this. It's not like, oh God, it's too late. The ONS, or was it the ONS? The IFS, so the Institute for Fiscal Studies, shout out Paul Johnson. He might have left the IFS now, but what a legend. They did like this piece of work where they looked at the optimal age to save at for retirement. And what they wanted to answer was, should we be saving consistently at 8% across our whole life? Or should we accommodate for life events like having children, earning more in later life? What is the optimal way to save, accommodating for what they called spending smoothing, I believe is the term. So making sure that in your 20s, you're not just flat broke at the expense of like your 50s. And what they actually found was that the shape was, instead of this linear line like this, was more like a bucket with a big kick up at the end. So you save in your 20s if you can, and then when you have kids, you basically nearly stop saving until your kids leave. And then once you've paid off your house and your kids leave, you ramp your savings rate up to about 20-30%. What the study concluded was it may be optimal to start really saving for your pension in your 40s and 50s.
Mainly because you have more disposable income.
Yeah, because what an economist will say is what we want to do is we want to optimize for spending over a lifetime so that the standard of living is as high as it can be at each point of life. And what most people will do is have their 20s and 30s on their arse, and then in their 50s, they've got too much money. And an economist will say that that's not optimal. You should have given yourself more of a break in earlier life so that when you're done, you go, I had a good time in every period, you know? So anyway, I don't think that that's an excuse to not save early on, because if you can save early on, you're going to reduce the heavy lifting later on in life. But this is a really credible organization basically saying it's more than possible, potentially optimal, to do majority in later life. The side of that you need to recognize is, though, you need to get your savings rate up high. So you can't go, okay, well, I'm going to save 5% or 8% and have the same outcome as if I'd done that my whole life. But you're going to go 20%, 25%. And that might really make your kind of eyes water, this idea of tucking away 20 to 25% of your gross income. But let's not forget that if you're in your 50s and you're tucking money away into a pension, you'll be able to access that money in a couple of years. Yeah. So and if you work, if you're full-time employed, you might be able to go to your employer and go, do you have salary sacrifice? You can pay that money into your pension via salary sacrifice, dodge all of the tax that's associated with that, and then access that money tax efficiently in a few years. So it's really beneficial. It's not like a 30-year-old tucking it away who's got to wait 2 decades. It can be really, like that's the best age to be paying into a pension because you get the benefit sooner. I'm not saying that you're going to need to save 25%. I can appreciate there's lots of people that can't do that, right? But you can't save 8% and get the same outcome as if you'd saved 8% your whole life. You're going to need to, the way to combat it is to ramp up the savings rate. Yeah,
you got to be a bit more aggressive. But I mean, I think for people in 40s, 50s, and generally everyone, like I hear a lot of people being like, oh, I want to start investing. I don't know what to do. I've been thinking about it for a while. Just getting started is like the most important thing. Like we did about 6-7 episodes. I'm like, yeah, I need to sort out my lice. I need to sort out my SIP. And then like eventually, once I did it, it was easy.
It's super easy.
It's the first actual step of going, okay, today I'm going to do it. I'm logging on and doing it.
You just got to go to the gym.
It's like a walk. It's like going to the gym. Yeah. Once you go first, you're like, oh, this isn't so bad.
Just got to go.
But if you think about it, you're like, oh, I'll go tomorrow. And that's what I did for ages with investing. I'm like, I'm in crypto. I'll do the other stuff later, my pension later. But if you just do the first step, it's easier, and then you learn and you get more interested in it because you're in the market.
Yeah. And also, but you have to be realistic with yourself that you might not retire early. If you're at 50 and you want to retire at 55 and you've got nothing, it's probably not going to be that realistic.
Of course.
So what you might then do is go, okay, we'll knock back retirement a year, or maybe I'll find other ways of working later into life. Do you remember when we spoke to Hamish and he was like 81 and sharp as anything, and he was continuing to work and was like really, I found it really inspirational.
I was shocked that he was 81. I thought it was like in 60s, early 70s.
Yeah, so he's a testament to that. If you keep active, you keep fit,
you keep sharp.
And I think with longevity and longer lifespans, this is a real opportunity for people to go, at 50, I'm still young. I might be working here for 30 years still. And work doesn't need to be turning up for the 9 to 5. It can be consultancy. It can be leveraging all of your expertise. It can be teaching. It could be online. It could be volunteering, whatever. I just think that, you know, we need to reframe this whole, oh, if I've not got all my money by 60, I'm done. It's simply not the case. So whack up the savings rate and have a conversation with yourself about, am I going to continue to work and what is that work going to look like? But most of all, don't panic. If you look at the statistics, I think something like 60% of people at 55 don't know how much is in their pension.
60% of people are 50.
Yeah,
Wow.
they've either got so much money in there that they don't care, or I think what's actually happening is they're not engaged with it. So I think even if at 50 you're thinking, oh, am I doing enough here? You're well ahead of people in your age group. That was a clip from our full-length conversation, me and Tamaine. We don't have them very often, do we? But when we do, they're always special. But in it, we answered your biggest money questions, and you can watch the full thing right here.